All right, before we jump in, just a quick but super important heads up. This is all for educational purposes. It's not a substitute for professional financial advice. You should always chat with a qualified pro about your own situation. Okay, let's do this.
Okay, let's dive right in. We are talking about 5 money moves that you absolutely need to think about before December 31st hits. And trust me, this isn't just about tidying up your finances for the year. This is about grabbing some major opportunities that will literally vanish when that ball drops on New Year's Eve.
And that's really the heart of the matter, isn't it? The clock is absolutely ticking. The end of the year isn't just a suggestion. It's a hard deadline for financial strategies that could save you a ton of money. If you miss it, that chance is gone for good. But hey, don't you worry, I'm here to make sure that does not happen to you.
That's exactly why we're calling this whole thing the year-end money clock. I want you to start thinking of December 31st, not just as a day for parties, but as your personal financial finish line for the year.
So here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with why this deadline is so darn important. Then we're going to talk about claiming your free money, how to turn losses into real savings, and a really fascinating crypto tax loophole you need to know about. We'll even see if your deadline might be different, and then wrap it all up with a final action checklist. Let's get to it. First things first, let's talk about claiming what is rightfully yours. I'm talking about your 401k match, which is hands down one of the easiest ways to give your retirement savings a massive boost. Now, check out this number, 4.8%. According to data from Fidelity, that's the average employer 401k contribution. Now, this isn't just some small perk. It's a huge lift for your savings, and it's paid for by your boss. Think about it. It's basically a raise that you only get if you decide to contribute. But here's the part that just blows my mind. Based on data from huge players like Vanguard and Fidelity, almost half of all workers aren't contributing enough to get their full company match. They are literally, and I mean literally, leaving free money on the table. So why the big rush before December 31st? It's actually really simple. Your 401k contributions have to come directly out of your paycheck. That means your last payday of the year is often the absolute final chance to get that full match. You can't just write a check in January to catch up. Once 2025 is over, that free money is gone. Poof, forever. Okay, on to our second strategy. This one is all about finding a silver lining when your investments take a dip. We're going to talk about turning those losses into actual tax savings with a strategy called tax loss harvesting. So what the heck is it? Well, tax loss harvesting is really just selling an investment that's lost value. You then take that loss and use it to lower your tax bill on any investment gains. And get this, if your losses are bigger than your gains, you can even use up to $3,000 to lower your regular taxable income. It's a really smart way to make your portfolio work harder for you. And here it is, broken down into 3 simple steps. First, you find and sell an asset that's in the red inside your regular taxable brokerage account. Second, you take that loss and use it to cancel out gains from your other investments. And the result? You lower your overall tax bill for the year. It's as simple as that. But, and this is a big but, there is a critical catch you have to know about when it comes to stocks. It's called the wash sale rule. Basically, the IRS won't let you claim that tax loss if you sell a security and then buy back the same one or something substantially identical within 30 days. It's their way of stopping people from gaming the system. Now let's build on that because that wash sale rule has a really interesting exception. And for this year, it creates a huge tax loophole for one of today's most talked about assets, cryptocurrency. Okay, this slide is super important, so let's break it down. On the left, for stocks and other securities, the wash sale rule applies. You sell, you have to wait 31 days to buy it back. But look over on the right. For crypto, the rule does not apply. You want to know why? It's because the IRS currently calls crypto property, not a security. And that little difference in wording means you can sell your crypto to lock in a loss and then buy it right back, like immediately, without breaking any rules. And hey, don't just take my word for it. As our source material from Moomoo points out, this distinction is what allows crypto investors to sell their losing assets and then buy them back on the very same day. You get to lock in that tax loss without giving up your position on the market. It's an incredibly powerful tool, especially when the market is all over the place. Now, we've been laser focused on that December 31st deadline here in the US, but it's really important to remember that not everyone around the world is on the same clock. Financial deadlines can be really different depending on where you live. So let's take a quick look at this timeline.
In the USA, yep, December 31st is the big one for all the stuff we've been talking about. But in Germany, you might have a deadline for a past year's tax return that also falls on December 31st. And then you hop over to the United Kingdom, and their main tax year doesn't even end until April 5th. The key takeaway here is simple. Always know your local deadlines.
Whew, we have covered a lot of ground. So let's bring it all home and put it all together in a clear, final checklist. This is your action plan to make sure you squeeze every last drop of opportunity out of this year. Here it is, your 4-step action plan. Number 1, log into your 401k account and make sure you're contributing enough to get that full employer match. Number 2, scan your portfolio for any investments that are down. Number 3, for your stocks, think about selling those losers, but please remember that 30-day wash sale rule. And finally, number 4, for your crypto, you can sell those losers to offset your gains, and you have the freedom to buy them right back. 4 simple steps to a much smarter financial year-end. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with this one thought. Building wealth isn't just about how much money you make, it's about strategy, and it's about timing. So the question I have for you is, are you making the right strategic moves before the clock on this year finally runs out? Hey, if this breakdown was helpful and you want more like it, make sure you subscribe. We're all about leveling up your brain here at the NoteMan.